Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can use the iOS 18 contact access speaker in Expo React Native. So this is an iOS specific video for Expo React Native. Now I want to make this very clear at the start. This contact access speaker can only be used with Swift UI. It's very difficult to make it work completely like part of your UI in React Native and part of it in Swift UI. So the entire UI which I will show you will be in Swift UI itself. I will explain more on why it needs to be in Swift UI later on. We will have one button, and on click of it will open the contacts app. We can select the required contacts which we are interested in, and whenever the user has selected the required contacts, they will be displayed in a list. Now you might be wondering that we can use flat list for it. Unfortunately we can't, because the contact access speaker is tightly coupled with the Swift UI list, which I will show you shortly. There might be some ways around getting that, but it would be extremely complicated. I don't want to complicate this tutorial. I want to keep it as simple as possible. Also, one more thing, once a contact has been picked, I'm storing it inside an array, so the contacts will get lost if you don't persist it locally inside your database. I'm not doing that inside this tutorial, again just to keep this tutorial simple, but I will let you know where you can add that particular logic. So first we have to go to this particular URL to create an Expo React Native application. So I will be using this blank TypeScript template. The reason is because it creates less boilerplate code and it has TypeScript support. So I can just copy this command, and you can go to your workspace directory and just paste this particular command. Feel free to use whatever template you want. I'm just using this template. I'll just give my app as my app. You can name it whatever you feel like. Now like I told, we need Swift UI integration. For that we need to create the iOS folder. By default iOS folder is not present once we when we create an Expo React Native project. So for that you can go to this particular URL. You need to do some setup. First select iOS device over here. Here you will have to select development build. You can disable EAS because we will be building it locally. Then I have already installed Xcode. I have already installed Xcode command line tools as well. You would need this, so if you haven't done it you will need to do this. I have already installed Watchman as well. Then we need to copy this particular command, so I'll just copy this. Let's just wait for this particular thing to finish. Okay, so this is done. Then I can just cd to my app and I'll paste this particular command. So this will install few other dependencies as well. Once that is done, I will just copy this particular command as well, and let's just wait for this to finish. Okay, then I'll just paste this command. Now this command will take a little bit of time because it needs to do the CocoaPod installation as well. So let's just wait for this to finish. Once that is done, I'll come back again and explain it to you, the remaining stuff. Okay, so as you can see over here, we are getting this. I don't want to run it now. I'll just do Control C. I'll run it later on. The next thing is we have to open this particular URL. So this will actually help us to install like create a native module in which we will be writing the code. So all we need to do is just copy this URL over here and paste it over here. Now this will ask us few questions. I'll keep everything as default and just press enter. So let's just wait. Enter. Okay, so this is done as well. Now again, given that we are interested for iOS models, we again have to run this pod install command. So I'll just paste it over here. Now again this will take a little bit of time, so yeah, I'll just close my cheat sheet. I have opened the Expo React Native project inside VS Code. Now what I'll do is I'll just write down all the code, and once I have written down all the code, I'll come back and explain it to you and show you guys the output. Right guys, so I have written down the required code. So first what you will have to do is you will have to go to the main iOS folder over here. You will have to go to your app. You will have to go to info.plist, and here you will have to add this particular bit of code. This will ask us for the contact usage description permission. Instead of need permission, you can write whatever string you feel like. I mean, write some proper string, otherwise your app might get rejected. Once that is done, close this iOS folder, go to modules, my modules, and here inside this src folder which we have, you will have to open this my module.type.ts. So here firstly, inside for our custom Swift UI view, we are not accepting any props, neither we are accepting any events. So you can comment out all this stuff which is present by default. This stuff might change a little. in future, so be careful with that. So I have just commented out everything which is present by default, and I have added this view props. So make sure you import this view props from React Native as well. So you just have to add this ampersand view props. This is for styling. So yeah, that's what I have done. Then go to app.tsx, and here you can import your module view from my modules slash module slash my module. If you have changed the name, you will have to change the import as well. And here this is how we are using it, and I'm just occupying the entire width and height. So I'm getting the width and height using this use windows dimension hook. So yeah, that's it. Next, you will have to go to your project, go to iOS folder, double click on this .exe workspace and open it inside Xcode. The first thing which you have to do is you will have to go to your project, go to general, select your project, go to general, and change the minimum deployment target to 18.0 for debug as well as for release. This is important because this contact access picker is only available from iOS 18 and above. Then you will have to go to pods. Okay, so expand this development pods option, scroll down, and you will have to search whatever module name you have given. I have given it as my module. So first you will have to right click, new file from template, select Swift file, click next, and here you have to create this particular file, my Swift UI view. I have already created this, so I'm not creating it again. I'm just showing it to you. And the important thing is, inside targets you will have to scroll down and check this my module has been selected, or whatever your module name is. This is very important. You don't do this via VS Code. Sometimes it throws an error. Okay, and just click on create. I have already created this file, so I won't create it again. Okay, then just go to my module, and here you have to add this iOS 18 availability. Okay, then scroll down. Okay, then you have to just scroll down, and here you can see that I have just commented this code which was present by default. Again, we are not passing any prop for our custom view. That's why I have commented this. Neither we are using any event, so I have commented that as well. Next, you will have to completely refactor my module view. There will be some code present by default. We don't need that. That is for web view. We are not interested in web view. So here I have imported first Swift UI. Again, annotate this with iOS 18. First we have to create a UI kit view, because we can't directly use Swift UI inside React Native. We have to go through the UI kit route. So then inside initialization, I add this view as a sub view. Then I create this display Swift UI view, and here I set the frames for our parent view. Then inside this display Swift UI view, here we first initialize this my Swift UI view file, which I will show you shortly. Then we get a view out of it. Then we set this translate also auto resizing to false. Then here we create our current view controller, add it as a child, this particular VC UI hosting controller. Then add Swift UI view to our parent view. Then set up some NS layout constraints, and then we just do vc.did move to parent controller. Then here, coming back over this Swift UI view file which we have created. So firstly, again, you have to import Swift UI contacts and contacts UI. Also one more thing, I'm not sure, I forgot, but if you haven't done this 18.0, you should do this. Make sure you change it to 18.0 as well as 18.0. And again, we annotate with available 18.0. Then we extend this view. So this is the Swift UI view. So this is the variable where we are storing all the contacts, but like I said, the contacts will get lost if you don't persist that data. I'm not persisting that data in this particular tutorial. So here I'm first making this boolean variable as false. Then I have created a navigation stack. Inside that we have a list which will show all the contacts, and whenever a contact has been selected, I'm just saying say hello to whatever contact's given name is. But instead of given name, you can get other details as well. So let me just press this dot, and let's just press Control and space bar. Sometimes it takes a bit of time for Xcode to catch up, but here you can see we have this contact relation, date, department, email address, ID, identifier, phone number as well. So that's most people would be interested in. So yeah, but do remember this fields can be nil as well, or null. So be careful with this. Then here we have a toolbar where we will display a button. On click of it, we will just toggle this variable to true, and once this boolean variable is toggled to true, we display the contact access picker. Now here, if you remember, I was telling you this contact access picker is very tightly coupled with this list. That's why it's very difficult to use flat list. In our case, I have to use the entire UI in Swift UI view. And once this is displayed and user selects some results, we just call this fetch contacts, and inside fetch contacts we just create a task, and here we just do all contacts.map identifier. Here we just do existing identifier plus new identifier. Here we create a key, okay, of full name. Here we create a fetch request, we set the predicate for it as well. Then here we create an empty array which like just to store it temporarily. Once we enumerate all the data, we just append it to our empty array. Then we append the empty array to our all contacts. Now here, once you get the data, you can store it here inside Swift data or core data to persist the data, or send this data back to React Native side and maybe use some third-party library like SQLite or Watermelon DB to persist the data. So it's up to you how you want to save it, but I don't want to go into that. So yeah, that's it. Next, you can just open your project. Here you can see, you will see something like this. Just click on this plus button. Now there is a little bit bug according to me in simulator. I can't really test it on a real device because I have an iPad and iPad does not have contacts app. Here you can see, I'll just select this John Appleseed as well as Kate Bell. Okay, I'll click on done. Then it asks me for the contacts permission. I'll click on continue. Then again it displays me this. I don't know why. Maybe this is how it is designed. But again, I'll just click on select contacts. Again, I'll just select this two. This happens only for the first time. So again, I'll click on continue, allow selected contacts, and here you can see sometimes you might only see one contact if you're testing it on the simulator. Again, this is just a bug. If you try selecting some other, now it will work fine. So suppose I want to select Anna as well as Daniel. I'll click on done, and here you can see Anna as well as Daniel are selected. And suppose I don't want John Appleseed anymore, I'll click on done again. So John has been removed. So hopefully you got the point. Thank you for watching. Bye.